Hello, this is part 2 of episode 3 on EVs, and there should be a link to part 1 if you've not already seen that, so click that now. Now, it's gone. Okay, so we finished up the last episode when we were talking about Pokerus, and I didn't notice until after I uploaded it that I didn't actually say what Pokerus did for the longest time. I did write it straight away on the video, but I just kind of assumed. So I'm sure you know by now if you read the screen, it doubles the EVs you get. So sorry about that. But this episode we'll be talking about the items that go well with Pokerus, or if you don't have it, are good on their own. And the first item I'm going to talk about is the Macho Brace. Now, the Macho Brace has since been superseded, but it is still worth mentioning, because what it does is it doubles the EVs you get from a battle. Now, this in itself is just as good as the Pokerus. However, as I said, there are now better items, and the better items were introduced in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and are obtainable in those games as well as Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And these are the power items, which each power item, there are 6 of them, and they're specific to a stat. So you have the power weight, which is HP. You have the power bracer, which is attack. You have the power lens, which is special attack. You have the power band, which is special defense, and the power anklet, which is speed. Now, these power items are useful because instead of doubling or what have you, multiplying by some variation the EVs you get, they actually just give you EVs from the battle, and they give you 4 EVs. So if you wear the power weight, you have a battle, you will get 4 EVs for HP, no matter who you battled. So if you battle Zubat, Zubat will give you 1 speed EV, and the power weight will give you 4 HP EVs. Now, this, generally you want to couple them along with the correct EV. So if you're battling Zubat, it makes a bit more sense to wear the power anklet in order to get 5 speed EVs, and it helps the counting process, because neither way is really faster. If you're trying to level up your speed and your HP, or your speed and something else, then you are just as quick doing it staying in one as you are spreading it out both. It makes it simpler for counting. However, they are really good when mixed with the Pokerus, because say you fight a Golbat. Now, a Golbat will give you 2 speed EVs, and you're wearing the power anklet, so that's another 4 on top of that, so you've got 6 speed EVs, and your Pokemon has Pokerus, giving you 12 EVs from that battle, which is amazing. It's so much better than just spending the time simply battling Zubat or Golbat. It just reduces the time so much. You can stick on a movie and be done by the end of it pretty much. Well, maybe a little bit longer, but it doesn't take anywhere near as long as it would without it. I think I'd get bored out my mind if I didn't have any items to increase my EV training. There are also other items which even reduce it much further and do whittle it down to a really good quick ability to EV train your Pokemon. And these items you will have heard of, you will have seen in the game, but you might not know what they do in relation to EVs. And these are the items HP Up, Protein, Iron, Calcium, Zinc, and Carbos. Now, you'll be able to buy these in the big department stores that you get in most of the games, and they are quite expensive, but each of them will give 10 EVs to that specific stat. So for instance, HP up will give you 10 EVs to your HP. Protein will give you 10 EVs to your attack. Iron will give you 10 EVs to defense. Calcium will give you 10 EVs to special attack. Zinc will give you 10 EVs to special defense. And Carbos will give you 10 EVs to speed. So if you give your Pokemon these items before you start EV training, you really reduce the amount of time you're going to spend doing this. Now, just so you know, there is a limit on the amount of vitamins you can give to your Pokemon, which is these items, and that is 9. So basically you can kickstart your Pokemon's EV training with 90 EVs on each stat. So it's 9 cap on each of them, not 9 in total. So if you're EV training your Pokemon in health and in defense, you can give them 9 HP up and 9 iron, and that will give you a much helpful. I just can't describe how good it is to be able to skip that many EVs just to get a real good kickstart on your EV training. So that will cut down the amount of EVs you need to train your Pokemon from 255 to 165, which is just excellent. And then you've got to knock off the 3 pointless ones I told you about earlier, so you're down to 162. I know it's a little bit kind of pedantic picking down, but honestly, after a good while of EV training, the numbers count. So yeah, that's really all there is to EV training your Pokemon. I am going to have to set up an order to these videos. I know next video is going to be on IVs, but I really feel that I'll need to get the roles of Pokemon out pretty much after that straight away, because these things all kind of center around what you're going to be doing with that Pokemon. So when you're breeding for IVs and EV training your Pokemon, you will be always looking at what you're going to be doing with that Pokemon. And I'm also going to do a video on simulators, which can allow you to try out your Pokemon before you make it, pretty much, to make sure you're making a good team and you're not wasting time. But all that's in videos to come. Just to add, I did some quick mathematics there, and if you have all the items, so the power item and Pokerus, and go and battle a Pokemon with the correct EV, you're only talking at 16 to 17 battles at most to EV train that Pokemon in one of its stats. So you're on to about 32 battles, 34 battles tops, to get it completely EV trained. And if you switch off the animation on your DS just for that amount of time, which I know it looks a bit dull, but it really helps speed it up, it really does reduce the amount of time you're going to be spending EV training, and you'll be done in no time really. As I said, put a movie and you've got a few Pokemon done. So hopefully this has helped you, and I will see you next time. Thank you for listening.